Hey guys, and welcome to Yoga with Katie Cowan. I'm Katie, and for my 11th video, I'm going to focus more on arching the back and opening the chest and the heart. So option to have a strap handy if you have tighter hips and back. If you don't have a strap, a belt or tie would be fine. It's just something that doesn't stretch. See you on the mat. Hey guys, let's get started. We're going to start on our mat today in Child's Pose. So go ahead and bring your knees about the width of the mat and send your hips back over your heels. Reach your arms out forward in front of you, and then rest your forehead down to the earth, or as close as you can. Option here is to also sit on a block if you have any knee problems or any pain in this position, so go ahead and grab that and you can sit on there. Go ahead and take this moment to check into the four corners of your mat and into this space. With every exhale, relax the body. Start becoming aware of your breath in this moment. Okay, let's take a deep breath now. Deep inhale. Relaxing exhale. Go ahead and bring your hands over to the right side for our left side body stretch. Breathe into the side ribs. One more big breath. And go ahead and move your hands over to the left, right outside your mat or right on the corner, to really gut into this right side body. We'll do 3 big breaths. Go ahead and bring your hands back to center. Inhale, come all the way back up into all fours. Go ahead and start to find your alignment. So shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees. We'll do a few cat and cows here. So go ahead and inhale, look up, spread the collarbones, arch the back. Exhale, push against the ground, round the back, chin to chest. Go ahead and inhale, look up for cow. Collarbones wide, hips high. Exhale, push against the ground, chin to chest, rounding the spine, really warming it up. Inhale, look up. Tops of the feet are down. Exhale, chin to chest, round the spine. Go ahead and find your neutral spine here. And we'll reach the right arm forward, left leg back. Reach long through the fingertips and the toes. And then bring the right arm out to the side, left leg out to the side. Use your core. Flex your left toes, and then carefully lower your right hand down, lower your left foot down. So your toes are facing forward here. Inhale, pull the heart through your biceps, cow pose. Exhale, push down into the ground, round the back. Keep rounding and pushing against the ground. Come up to your fingertips. Start walking it to your legs and slowly round all the way up onto your shin and foot. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, lean over to the left for hovering gate pose. So stretching through the side body and stretching your leg. Go ahead and push your chest up. Lift your sternum. Bring your head back a bit and your shoulder blades close together. gently touching or almost. But an inhale here. Exhale, lean a little bit more over to the left. Inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, place the hands back down for tabletop position. Bring that leg back in, and you shake the hips side to side a bit. Then next side, go ahead and inhale, your left arm up, right leg back. Feel the stretch from your fingertips to your toes, then bring your arm out to the side, leg out to the side, using your core. Go ahead and relax your hand down, relax your foot down, so then your toes are still pointing forward. Then inhale, pull your chest through your bicep, gaze forward, arching your back gently. Exhale, round the back, push into the ground. And start walking your hands back towards your legs, coming up onto your fingertips, and slowly coming all the way up. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, lean over to the right side. Then stretch the fingertips, feel the stretch in the side body. Lift your chest, head back, shoulder blades lightly touching behind you. Inhale here. Exhale, go a little more further over to the side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, come back into your tabletop position. Bring your hands down, knee back in. And go ahead and shake your hips side to side a bit. So we're going to do tiger pose. So if you do have tighter hips and lower back, this is when you might want this strap. Go ahead and bring it over to your left side. Then we're going to exhale, reach the right foot up towards the ceiling, knee bent, spine gently arching. Go ahead and transfer your weight over to your right leg and open to the left side, grabbing your right ankle. Go ahead and kick into your foot. If you can't grab your foot, this is when you can add that strap in. Gently arch the spine, kicking and reaching. And we'll be here for one more big breath. Inhale. And exhale. Bring it down back into tabletop position. Gently shake the hips back and forth. And you can switch your strap over to the other side. And when you're ready, go ahead and lift the heel, the left heel up to the ceiling, knee bent, spine gently arching. Go ahead and transfer your weight over to the left hand by opening up the right side body. Also pressing down with the shin on the ground. Go ahead and reach for that ankle and kick the foot into the hand. Kick, 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 so you're gently arching the spine here. You're really arching it. Bring the shoulder head back, opening the chest. Keep kicking and reaching, and pushing into the body, arching the spine back. Good, one more breath. And exhale, relax the leg down, come back into your tabletop position, shake the hips. And keep moving your hips back and forth. And go ahead and send your hips over to the right side and hold it there. Maybe transferring your weight into your fingertips to give yourself some more space. Go ahead and cross the left leg over the right. Knees are next to each other, and there's a little more added pressure here. Go ahead and hold it here. Feel the stretch in the glutes and the side body. Make sure you're giving yourself enough space to really move your weight over to the side. Go ahead and come back to tabletop position. Shake the hips out a little bit. You go ahead and lean them over to the left. Maybe you create more space by moving your weight forward a bit into your fingertips. And then go ahead and cross your knees. Bring the right knee over the left. Grab the weight over to the side. Feel the stretch in the glute and the side body. back to tabletop position. Shake it out a little bit. And go ahead and maybe move back a little bit. Give yourself some space in front of you for puppy dog pose. So just make sure that your hips are over your knees. And go ahead and start walking your hands out of it. Walk them out and then lower the chest down, forehead down to the mat. You have a nice arch in your spine, nice arch in your back. Tops of the feet are down, chest is opening towards the earth. Go ahead and press against the ground with your hands and bring your hands back under your shoulders. Push against the earth, round the back, chin to chest. Cat pose. Then we come back to your neutral spine. We'll do puppy dog one more time. So go ahead and walk your hands up. Bring your head down to the mat. Maybe for an added challenge, you come up to your chin. For an even more difficult version, you can bend the elbows, put the hands in prayer pose, and bring them up to the crown of the head. This opens up the chest a lot more. But just do whatever your body is telling you to do. Just relax the body into the earth, relax the chest. Feel the nice stretch in the middle of the spine. And when you're ready, go ahead and release your hands, press into the earth, bring the hands back under the shoulders, round the back, chin to chest, cat pose. Good, come back to your neutral spine and tuck the toes, lift the hips for downward facing dog. Now this is our first downward facing dog of the practice. Go ahead and pedal it out. So your hands are gripped into the mat. Elbows are pointing down. So your shoulder blades wrap around the chest. Tailbone's lifted. Lifted up high. And your heels are pressing down towards the mat. If you want to pedal it out, then you go bend one leg and press down with the opposite heel. And just alternate between the two. Go ahead and inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, gaze forward. Exhale, step or hop to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Now we're going to grab opposite elbows for Ragdoll Pose. So go ahead and relax the chest to the thighs. Feet are grounded, micro bend the knees here. You can stay here just hanging, or you can gently move side to side to get a lot more sensation throughout the whole leg. Just try to relax the chest down to the thighs, releasing the lower back, releasing the whole back down through the crown of the head and onto the ground. Go ahead and relax the arms down and slowly inhale one vertebrae at a time. Come up to standing. Inhale, arms up overhead. Stretch to the sky. Exhale, arms by your sides. Namaste heat. Connect to your breath. And find your mountain pose, your strong pose here. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, bend the knees, send the hips back for Uttanasana, chair pose. So you're pretending that there's that imaginary chair behind you. Just try to reach the hips back towards there. Knees back, so they're almost in line with the ankles, but so you can at least see your toes. Reaching here. Don't try not to arch the back. Try to have a flat spine from your tailbone up to the crown of your head. Reach as much as you can through your fingertips. And exhale, fold forward. Bring your chest to your thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, plant your hands, plank pose, and lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, if you have the mobility in your back, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Go ahead and inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, bring it up to your right elbow. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, bring your knee to the left elbow this time. Inhale, kick it back up. Exhale, knee to nose, hold. And then exhale, step it between the hands. Inhale, arms up overhead, crescent lunge. So find your lunge here, make sure your knee is over your ankle. Buttocks bones are heavy, so you're feeling a very big stretch in the left hip flexors here. Where you can pull that back heel away from you. So you feel a great big stretch in the front of the leg. Go ahead and inhale, reach up. Exhale, turn to the right, arms wide for crescent lunge twist. Inhale here. Exhale to relax, twist a little bit more. Find your lunge, find your stretch in your hips. Sink the hips down. Get a good breath here. Go ahead and inhale, come back to center. Exhale, frame the front foot, step it back for plank pose, and lower down all the way to the ground, releasing your toes and forehead. Inhale, push up, cobra pose. So your shoulder blades are touching, chest is lifted, collarbones wide. Exhale, lower the forehead back down, bring your navel in. Inhale, push against the ground, cobra pose again. Shoulder heads away from the ear, chest opens, top of the feet pressed down. Exhale, lower down. Forehead down to the ground. Now inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. You do upward facing dog by tucking the toes, pushing the body through the hands, chest lifted, gaze up. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Good, guys, connect to your breath here in downward facing dog. Go ahead and inhale, lift your left leg up high. Exhale, bring your knee to your left elbow. Inhale, kick it back up. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Inhale, kick it back up. Exhale, knee to nose, hold. And then release it between the hands. Inhale, arms up, crescent lunge. Go ahead and find your lunge here. Find a big stretch in the hips. Give me the knee over the ankle, pushing that back heel away from you. So you have a big stretch in the hips and maybe the quads. Sink the hips down a little. Inhale, lift the body up. Exhale, twist over to the left, arms wide. Find your breath here. Twist from the ribs. Move the ribs over to the left side. Don't forget about your lunge here. Keep your legs active. Find the stretch in the front hip flexors. Maybe you can sink the hips down a little bit, lower to the floor. One more inhale. Relaxing exhale. Inhale back to center. Exhale, frame the front foot, step it back for plank pose. And now lower down onto your forearms. And then lower the lower half of your body down to the ground. Come into Sphinx pose. So your chest stays lifted. Elbows are under the shoulders. Make sure to slide your body a bit forward, if so. Upper body lifts, chest open. pelvis is pressing down into the ground to release the lower back. Buttocks is moving down. Keep your legs firm, feet flat. Now we're going to turn our left hand so that's perpendicular to our chest and open up to your right. Another option here is to use your strap for this one as well. We're going to go ahead and bend the right leg as close to you as you can and go ahead and grab that foot. So ankle or top of the foot, I like to grab around the toes. So you're going to move that heel in towards the body, in towards the buttocks. And if you can move it in, so my thumb is on top first, you can swivel the fingers by bending the elbow and bring that foot as close to the body in the butt as you can for a big quad stretch. Now if you shifted your weight over to the left, go ahead and bring it back over to the right. So it's right on your hips and you feel it a lot more in the hip flexors there. If you can't grab your foot, that's when you can put the strap around the foot and try to bring it to you as much as you can. Do whatever your body's feeling. Try to keep the chest lifted by pressing into the front arm, to the front elbow. Your chest is squared, while you pull the heel down, really trying to dig into the middle of that quad. Go ahead and relax the leg down how you got it, and let it just flick back gently. Go ahead and put your right arm on top of your left, and lower the forehead down. Bend the knees, windshield wiper the legs. Release the lower back if you have any strain in there. Go ahead and relax the legs back down to the ground. Come back up, bring your right arm under your shoulder so you're coming back into your Sphinx pose in a way. And then move it so then it's perpendicular to your chest. Go ahead and open up to the left side and bend your left leg back towards your butt. Go ahead and grab that foot or ankle anywhere you can. And go ahead and swivel your fingers by bending your elbow. And bring the heel close to the buttocks. Try to keep your chest lifted here. Try to keep the other heel down. And if you move your weight, go ahead and put the weight back onto your left hip. Try to square your shoulders. And pull the heel as close to the buttocks as you can. So you're really ungripping that quad, really getting into the belly of the quad. Try to keep your chest lifted here and relaxed. Go ahead and release that left leg slowly as you got it. Gently back, just don't flick it. Put your left arm on top of your right. Lower your forehead down to your hands. Bend your knees, windshield wiper the legs. Go ahead and relax the legs back to the ground. Bring your hands next to your chest. Go ahead and inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, send the hips high, downward facing dog. Then pedal it out a bit, and then this feels good. Feel the lower back release down. Go ahead and inhale, lift the heels, bend the knees, gaze forward. Exhale, step or hop to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Let's stay for one more breath. Inhale. Exhale, release down. Inhale, arms up, bend the knees, chair pose. Look down to see if you can see your toes. It also helps you unarch the back. Arms reaching forward. Inhale. Sit back, exhale. And inhale, straighten the legs to standing, arms by your side. Relax. Namaste. Good. Now we're going to do our standing posture. So go ahead and find your Tadasana and stand strong. Put your hands on your hips. Try to find your plumb line. So some people overarch, some people slouch. So go ahead and find that line within you. Go ahead and lift the right leg up, bending the knee, and reach back for our quad stretch. Go ahead and find your drishti, something still that isn't moving. And try to get your focus on it. Go ahead and reach back with your left hand and interlace the fingers around the ankle. Try to find your stillness, find your balance, maybe squeeze the knees together or ground the big toe down. So try to squeeze the heel into the buttocks, shoulder heads going back, shoulder blades to touch. Go ahead and lift the chest. Option to stay here or kick into the hands so your arms are going further back behind you, maybe even hinging from the hips, chest reaching forward. Go ahead and kick and reach, and kick and reach as much as you can. Try to stay balanced on your standing leg. And relax the leg back together, squeezing the knees together and releasing the foot down to the ground. Go ahead and shake it out a bit, move the legs. There's a hard pose. And go ahead and find your plumb line again. Go ahead and put your hands on your hips. Hips centered, everything's in line. Go ahead and lift your left leg up. Go ahead and grab it with your left hand around the ankle. Shoulder heads back. And then go ahead and grab your ankle with your right hand as well, interlacing the fingers around the ankle. Go ahead and either stay here, trying to pull the heel into the buttocks for that quad stretch, or to get it more into the hip flexors as well. Go ahead and kick the foot away from you, pulling the shoulder heads back, maybe even hinging from the hips. And reaching with the chest. Reach with the chest as you kick into the leg. Kick into the leg and reach. Try to find this bow pose. When you're ready, go ahead and try to squeeze the knees together and relax the foot down to the ground. Good, go ahead and shake them out a bit and come back into your Tadasana. Take a deep breath here. Go ahead and inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Hang here for one breath, inhale. Relaxing, exhale. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step the feet back, plank pose. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, now go ahead and bend the knees and lower down to the mat. Bring your knees together, feet together to touch as well, or as much as that is comfortable. To come back and send your hips back over your heels. Reach your arms forward and for a child's pose. Go ahead and separate your hands, making a half circle all the way back to your feet. Hands go around the heels. Now we're going to do a rabbit pose. So go ahead and grab your heels or your ankles and shins, whatever you can. Go ahead and lift the hips high. And as you're pulling on your heels, you start feeling a stretch in your spine as the crown of your head comes onto the mat, forehead faces the knees. And then pull on the heel and feel the stretch of the lower back, of the whole full back. Go ahead and relax the hips back down over the heels. Relax the shoulder heads around the legs. Feel the shoulder blades melt away from each other. Breathe into the upper back. Now we'll do this one more time, so go ahead and grab onto your heels. Go ahead and lift the hips, bring the crown of the head onto the mat. And lift them as high as you can. So you have this different tugging, right? With the shoulders and the hips. Feel the shoulder blades separate as you pull on the heels. And then the lower back release as you lift the hips high. And make sure relax your muscles here. And exhale, relax your hips over your heels. Shoulder blades around your legs so they separate and melt to the floor. Inhale, come up to sitting over your heels. And go ahead and swivel your feet out in front of you. And then we'll come laying on our backs. So have the crown of your head at one end of the mat. Go ahead and hug the knees into the chest, into your heart. Go ahead and release the right leg long, hovering over your mat. Inhale, bring it all the way up, using your abs. Exhale, lower it down all the way to the ground. Bring your left knee over the right for a twist. Gaze over to the left. Try to keep the left shoulder down to the ground as your knee moves away from the body. Relax here, feel a nice twist within those tiny muscles of the spine. And inhale, bring it back in. Hug both knees back into the heart center. Exhale, left leg is long, hovering over the mat. Engage your core as you lift the left leg up high. Hold. And then relax the leg down to the ground. Go ahead and send the right knee over to the left. Gaze over to the right for a nice spinal twist here. Try to keep the right shoulder head down on the ground. And goal post your arms for more stability. And feel the nice twist throughout the spine. In, I'll come back to center. Hug both knees in. And relax down into Savasana. So option here is to take a regular Savasana, which is just laying down on the ground, feet wide. Or you can take cactus arms with me. So we're gonna bend our elbows. So we have our cactus arms, our goalpost arms. Feet are as wide or wider than the mat, knees to touch. The goal is to get the back flat onto the ground. If you're laying down, you can usually move your hand underneath, but we want to neutralize our spine now after all of our back bends. So go ahead and relax the head, relax the body down. Come into this meditative state. Start bringing awareness back to the body by deepening your breath. Deepen your inhale and hollow out the belly with your exhale. And reach the arms overhead for an upper body stretch. And relax over to your right side into a fetal position. Using your right arm as a pillow, left hand relaxes to the earth. And use your left hand to push against the ground, pulling the upper body up into a seated position. Go ahead and shoulders are away from the ears, palms together on your legs, head bowed slightly. And bring your hands to prayer position at heart center. Thank you for practicing with me today. I hope this was an invigorating practice with the back bends and that you find that you might have more energy today than you have in the past. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.